Welcome to another episode of Industrial Amputation, where you can always expect the unexpected. Today, we have with us from Chicago's very own Comasoft, Jay Ramirez, and hopefully soon, Chris Lee. Uh, Guy, not guys, Guy, welcome. It's a
Thank
pleasure to have you here. How are you faring in the midst of the chaos out in Chicago?
laying pretty low. Just kind of, I mean, where I work from home, so I don't have to be out much. And I happen to live in Logan Square, so there's
Yeah.
lots of nonsense going on. So yeah, it sucks. You can hear the helicopters and stuff.
Oh, that must
Mm,
be fucking fantastic. Yeah, we're
yeah,
waiting for our turn out here in Seattle. So
yeah.
anyway, hope you guys are thriving out there and fight the power, motherfuckers.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah. So I was catching up with your YouTube channel, and if you would indulge us, I would like to kick this episode off with Comasoft Storytime Part 2.
Right
Hope you
on.
brought some visual aids. I really like to dive deeper into the Jean-Claude Van Damme
Yeah.
Inception and its fights with hotels. Can you please
Yeah.
elaborate on this story?
Sure. Well, so when this was years ago when we needed to when we were playing a lot more out of town and doing little runs, we found a van from a church, like a church was selling it. And so we went out,
Yeah,
drove out to the burbs to pick it up. And the guy, they were using it for their like elderly parishioner pickup program. So it was a
yeah,
1991 15 passenger and it had like 12,000 miles on it.
yeah,
So we're like, yeah, we'll take it. So it was old, but it had a giant like St. John the Evangelist stickers on the side. And he's like, you want me to rip that off? And we're like, absolutely not. Leave it on there because that's great theft protection. No one was going to want to steal from
yeah,
Jesus.
right?
So we were, it was a very strange look because we spray painted all the windows silver so you couldn't see in. And then,
Yeah,
look the way we looked, but it said St. John the Evangelist. And like, whenever you leave Chicago, like 25 minutes out of town, you're in a whole nother world.
yeah.
So every gas station stop was really interesting. But
A full
um,
revival session.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And like I mean, that van lasted for a long time. Went all the way to New York, all the way down the East Coast with it. Yeah. So, but just all kinds of interesting things happen when you have your own transportation on the road and everything like that. So, the particular story that you were bringing up was what now? That you
Something
saw
about
on our.
fighting with a hotel.
Oh, yeah. I think well we had to like back it in so people wouldn't open the door and steal it and then they got mad about
Yeah.
it and then when we tried to leave I think like the exit was too short so like the top of our band hit the wall
Oh,
or
dude.
like their overhang
Yeah.
but yeah just I mean anything bad that can happen happened
That's tour
and
life, man.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Like the little rail to get up into it like fell off one time, so we just like left it. Like what are you gonna do? You don't need, like we're not gonna duct tape it back on. So we just took one bigger step now to get in. But yeah, all those stories, man, all kinds of them. When you're out there,
Yeah.
eating hot dogs and stuff like that instead of living the good life.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, it looks like you guys have a really great rapport with your fans, and I'd love if you could regale us with another story from the road. Get us started.
Oh, sure. Okay. I mean, yeah, I have a few. I remember like one time we went in. I mean, like, wait, can we swear on here?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
all right,
Perhaps
good.
a fucking lutely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, this was a great. So we played in like a small place in like, Indianapolis or whatever, and then there was like a dude like right in the front row, and he was like, you could tell he was just kind of a country dude. Like he had like a little wife
Yeah.
beater that was all stained up and like a camouflage hat, and he was just like his face was like trying to figure us out while we were playing, and then when we get done, we're pulling our stuff off, and he kind of comes up with so like at the time we played that cover, Let's Go All the Way from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
original is from the
Uh-huh.
1980s band called Sly Fox.
Sly
And it's like a
Fox. Yep.
like a pop it. So we play our like sort of metal like it's like pretty heavy version.
Yeah.
And anyway, after the show, he comes up and he's like, "Man, I really love that ICP cover you guys did." Like like I guess ICP did that too,
I
and
think yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
yeah, that made I didn't know, but that made perfect sense to who he was. And then he's like, "Let me ask you something." He's looking at me and like guitar player. He's like, "You guys like to fuck girls?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Y'all like to fuck girls?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, like not right now. I mean, I'm playing, but yeah." And he's like, "I really love your band, man. I really love your band." He's like, "You just look like a bunch of queers up there."
Oh my God.
And like you could see the little mouse running in his head,
Yeah.
and so it's like it wasn't even offensive. I mean, like of course
Yeah.
it was offensive, but
No, those are legitimate moments when you're like rolling through the South sometimes, man. You have somebody that comes up there to genuinely just want to know. And
yeah, and maybe his life changed a little bit that day. That he was just
yeah,
like, it's okay, it doesn't have to be scary.
yeah. I know
That
that
was
one
good
of the
stuff.
first shows that I played there, we had members of the Bloods showed up. And
Uh,
so we had a bunch of gangbangers there, which I fucking love. I'm hardcore into gangster rap and some of the old stuff, Jungle Brothers and whatnot. And these guys were there, and one of them was talking about how, yeah, no, this is the same stuff, man. It's just they're singing about it with the from the style they know because we were all Batcave and stuff, and
yeah,
they're
yeah.
all, So, and then I saw where somebody was like, yeah, these goth guys, they sing about the same kind of stuff, like fucking skeletons and witches and shit. I was like, oh my God, this is like reliving that fucking moment at at that one uh, release party we had where these guys were like, well, man, I don't. It's like I was listening to you and the stuff. It sounded weird, but then I was like, wow, this is the stuff that we sing about. Only you got more artistic spin on it, you know?
I love that.
I'm like, wow,
That's
fucking
great.
skeletons and witches and
Yeah.
shit.
Which is shit.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
So you guys have been around for a while. This year's
Yep.
EP seeing the band's 20th anniversary since the debut self-titled effort.
Yep.
Um, please tell us how the band formed.
Sure. So it was my project. Yeah, I moved to Chicago around 2004, 2005, somewhere in there. And I've been a drummer. I've been a drummer my whole life. But I had been, playing with synthesizers and like kind of learning how to like, r run a DAW and stuff.
Mhm.
And that just sort of led to me playing drum beats and then putting synths on there, like kind of doing most of the work. And then all of a sudden I was like, I think I'm just going to try to sing. Once I picked that up, I met a really good amount of people right when I first moved here, like a lot of DJs, a lot of musicians, kind of fell
Yeah.
into that crew. And met who was my neighbor now, this guy Danny Bry, who played guitar, and then we just sort of built from there. A friend of ours knew a drummer, Tomas, and we formed the band. And then the original bass player, Crispy, I was telling you about, he was in a band that we were playing with, and we kind of stole him because he was just awesome. And that was the sort of original lineup. We played for a bunch of years. We were kind of like at the end of the MySpace era there, so like
Yeah.
that like fan base was really helpful and we played with a lot of like Chicago like staple bands, like Kilhanna and Medina Lake and like so we just got really lucky. Like we had some good friends
Yeah.
and got to play in front of a lot of kids. And once you do that, then all of a sudden they become a little more fanatical and would follow us around wherever we went. And
Yeah.
so that was awesome. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than that.
Yeah. That's fucking
Um,
great, man.
yeah. Then like, after, years go on and people kind of live their lives and, have to go in separate ways, the van kind of broke down. So like after about 20, maybe 15 or 16 or something like that, we just kind of paused the deal. Like it was never really went away. We just weren't really doing anything. I was playing drums in different bands, things like that. But then the pandemic sort of like changed everything. We had gotten me and Chris Lee, he just texted me, he's jumping on in a minute. And
Okay,
then
cool.
our buddy from this other band, like we formed a little like writing team over at Chris's house, and at the same time had gotten in connection with this company down in LA that does licensing, and Comasoft had done licensing with the company in New York like 2010, 2011. And so we were familiar with it, but we had written a bunch of songs, like songs from my buddy's band, songs that could be Coma songs. And we
Yeah.
just sent him like f 5 or 10, or I don't know, I don't remember. It was a lot of tracks,
Yeah.
thinking that he would maybe pick one or two on there. And he ended up wanting to license like seven of them, and two of them were Comasoft songs. So I was like, oh shit, I need to like, publish these and get the ISRC code. So all of a sudden that started to kickstart the band. And that was the 2023 EP that's called Finis Temporis.
Yeah.
There was a couple songs in there. So all of a sudden we were a band again. The original drummer, Tomas, like was still down. He had been out in the burbs, kind of, had some kids and stuff like that. But since he's in the burbs, he's got a big basement and it's like an arcade and his drums are there. And so we kind of
Yeah.
just stepped right back in. And
Oh,
then,
that's
like
fucking
I said,
great.
Chris Lee was like my writing partner. Him and I had written a bunch of songs. So we just kind of kept it going from there. So the EP that we put out in April was sort of uh, Chris Lee and I finding finding our atmosphere, like the groove that we really wanted.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and yeah, so now like I mean like we were getting like offers to play shows and I kept saying no because I just wasn't it was like a lot to do Comasoft in the old days. We had like video projection and we like used real equipment and I was like I don't know if, without a van how are we gonna move all that stuff around?
yeah.
Um but um but we decided to just give it a go when they asked us to play with Stabbing Westward and I mean I couldn't say no to that so I'm
No
like let's
shit.
do it. Yeah, and then that kind of kicked it off. So now we're selective about the shows we want to play. But if it's good and everybody can handle it, we're like, let's go do it. So yeah, that's kind of the story. And we're still like writing a lot and trying to like license them. Like that's really where the money is, especially like when you get a little older, you just don't want to play,
Yeah.
coffee shops and shit anymore.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And we now have Christopher Lee with us.
Hmm.
And
Hey guys.
hey, welcome, Chris. It's good to
Welcome,
see
Chris.
you, man.
Yeah, you as well.
Thank you for being
So,
here.
Joe Average, Seattle.
Joey Galvan, Austin, Texas.
Awesome. We're all over
Awesome.
the map right now. I like that.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
absolutely are. Right on, man. Well,
So
we do apologize for last week. There was a bit of a technical hiccup. Looked like so thanks for understanding and
Yeah, of
going.
course. I appreciate you guys being a little bit flexible too with my time today. I've been kind of on a lot of these calls today.
Yeah, no worries, man. Glad you were able to fit us in.
Sorry.
So, we were just having Jay tell us about the band and the lineup and everything. Can
Mhm.
you take us through the lineup? Who does what and where, and what you think they bring to the band and whatnot?
Yeah, for sure. So any like production and like that sort of stuff that Chris would be the one to ask. He kind of runs the show as far as doing all the production, all the stuff all the way up to the, almost the final mix.
Yeah,
Um in the band he plays bass, but I mean like they're all multi-instruments. So he plays the guitar a lot too. He does some drum programming. I do some of the drum programming, I play the keyboards and I do the singing. Our other friend Chris, his name's Chris Campbell, so we just call him Soup because we got too many Chris's in our
there
life.
you go.
So yeah, so Soup plays the guitar, and then the original drummer Tomas, that was out in the Burbs, he plays the drums, and that's the lineup.
Right on, man.
Mhm.
Excellent.
perfect. Going back to April of this year, as you mentioned, you released a great EP called Gather at the End. Can you please talk about writing this one?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'll start and then Chris will take over. I think for the most part, a lot of them start either two ways. Either I'm here writing a little drum part and adding some synths, and maybe a little vocal part, and then I try to like, get it a little polished and then bring it to Chris. And that happens, then we'll sit in the room together and he kind of just starts chopping pieces and moving things around. Or he'll be like, this one's not ready, go back and, work on some more melodies. Once we get things that we both feel pretty good on, then it just takes off from there. Like we're like you can see behind him, he's just got like a roll of guitars. So we'll just be
Yeah,
reaching back and grabbing basses and grabbing guitars, adding stuff. Some of the vocals I do here, a lot of them I do with like next to Chris there, so he can kind of steer me around. And then he keeps it for a long time and does all kinds of weird post production stuff. And so he could probably speak to that more. But
yeah, yeah. Take us for a walk through the studio stuff there, Chris.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a bunch of guitars and stuff. Most of it's a lot of the stuff I do is in the box though, right? Just in the computer. Some microphones in the other room over there. But I feel like this record that you guys brought up, the Gather at the End one, it came together pretty quickly. I don't think there weren't a lot of like duds that didn't make it, so to speak, right? It
Oh,
was we
that's
just
great.
sort of wrote these songs and we're like, oh, cool, we got all those songs in a row. Let's just make sure we get them polished up and put out.
Yeah,
Um, in terms of like the production and stuff, we do a lot of weird, I guess, synthy stuff and like layers, and Jay adds like bleeps and bloops and stuff like that. Really adds like some pretty cool layering and I guess ear candy and stuff like that.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's where I'm happy is fucking around in the studio kind of thing.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Just like seeing what kind of weird noises you can get out of something, or like
Yeah.
reversing
Well,
stuff and
you know,
adding distortions to it and stuff like that.
yeah.
yeah,
I always try to add some reverse reverbs on the vocals, so it goes like that
yeah,
and snare bombs and stuff. Like there's just the things that we love to do.
yeah.
So it's fun. I mean, like once we lay them in there, there's lots of EQ and try to like find the right spots. And I think that we've just gotten better. Oh, there you go.
Is it?
Sweet.
this little the
Oh, that's
KO,
cool.
the pocket operator, the by
Hmm.
Teenage Engineering. I love this, and just turn on it and then I've got something I can go in and fuck around with, and yeah, I love that stuff.
That's pretty cool. What'd you say that thing was called?
This one is the KO, the Pocket Operator P3 or PO 33.
Nice.
This one's their little mini sampler,
I've seen some of their stuff
and
before, I
I've
think.
got
They have like a bunch of
like
these.
this one's the one
Yeah,
of
that
their
was
mini
cool.
sequencers, and then there's a mini rhythm section thing, the factory, and the sub. So got a couple of those. I've got the obligatory Roland SP808 groove sampler and the M3
Hmm.
M303 MS303, whatever it is, the 303. Lots of synths and weird doodads and stuff. I also collect broken instruments that I can fuck around with.
That's cool. Just to like have a very unique kind of instrument and like
Yeah.
see what kind of noise it makes.
Yeah. I like stuff that's not an instrument that I can turn into an instrument and
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
or use in that way. My influences are sort of, like um trash day
Hmm.
outside of a bar, when the garbage
Yeah,
trucks are
yeah.
coming in there, but and there's broken glass just falling from the sky and into the back of the thing. I love those sounds. Toys when their batteries are dying, talkie toys when the batteries are dying and they start sounding really psychotic. I love that
Uh-huh.
stuff.
Yeah, they get
Hobos arguing in the dumpster makes me happy.
it's interesting too. Like I feel like sometimes when you add those childish elements, it makes it just so much more scary, like Freddy Krueger influence and stuff.
A little bit, yeah. So yeah, I got that Iggy Pop sense as far as my influences go. It's broader than just music. It's sounds in general and things that evoke feeling.
Hmm. Yeah, like cinematic thinking. Like
Yeah.
some of that
I
stuff's
have a lot
almost
of people tell me
Foley-ish,
my
right?
music sounds like soundtrack for horror movie stuff. So
Hmm.
like, oh, I can deal with that.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome. Love that kind of stuff.
Is there any specific reason you guys decided to do a five-track EP instead of a full record?
Um, to keep moving and getting things into people's ears, essentially. Um,
reason, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. People have a really short attention span these days, and so let's just try to keep things going at them pretty quickly.
What? I'm
True that. And we know you guys worked with your friend Danny from Santo Gato on
Yeah.
forthcoming remix EP for this release. We heard it early and it's pretty fucking badass.
yeah.
Do you have a specific approach when remixing your music?
Um, I think with this one, and Jay, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we just gave out some stems to like see what people would want to play with. Um,
Yeah.
it's some of the process, I feel like some of the stuff that we're doing with Danny now, in a different project is like feels a lot like remixing, if that makes sense. We're sort of just taking things and destroying them and reinventing them and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. The fun stuff.
Right, right, right. I don't know. I haven't really remixed too much stuff. It's more like usually have given people stems. I write much more like um, I guess compositionally than remixes and stuff like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, with there's like no I mean like I think we're cognizant of Comasoft's like the structure of hook and melody and 3.5 minute kind of thing, we don't have to try to play by all the rules, but we're cognizant of that. And then with the stuff that we're doing with Danny, like the parts can just go for a while. They can just flow, and like with no vocal and like so it's really freeing. It's weird. It was the hardest for me probably because I like my brain is always wanting to be like, oh, where's the chorus? But it's good for me in general, like to like just let some stuff ride. Which it sounds more like what Chris was saying when we were there on Thursday. It sounds more like a performance than it does like a song structure. It sounds like
Yeah.
something like a live DJ would do when DJs
Yeah.
mix in different parts and stuff like that, which is really cool.
Yeah. That is fucking cool, man. Awesome. Yeah. I watched a bunch of your videos and just, you guys are fucking awesome.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So when this one is coming out, when is this one coming out and where will people be able to find it? The remix one.
Yeah, so the remix record, that's just like all remixes from the Gather at the End songs.
Mhm.
like I don't know, man. In the old world, they're like, don't put anything out in November and did December, but I don't know if that even matters anymore. It's ready to go.
Yeah.
Like we have the art done. It's just a matter of like in my brain I wanted to like have a couple of new Comasoft songs as well. So when we put them out, we can like use it as a teaser to be like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
and in another
Yeah.
month we'll get a new EP. But right now I think Chris and I have like one or two Coma songs that are brand new that are in development still, but I feel good about. And then
Okay.
there's like, five or six ones that we have to put work into. So that's a non-answer. But I would say if it's not like within the next month, then it won't be until probably like January, February.
Okay.
And then the record I think I sent you guys that the one that we played like that new project with Danny that was like
Yeah.
all a bunch of new songs. That we were like ready to go, like literally in the room in Chris's room there, doing all the art and getting it all like loading it up when we started talking. I was texting some friends and I text Jim Marcus. Guys probably know him
Yeah.
Yep.
um, from Warsaw, and he was like, well, "Hold everything. I got some people for you to meet first." So he introduced me to a couple people that we're now talking to about trying to, help get some help with that record. So
Holy
we're
shit.
still
Right
in,
on,
yeah,
man.
we're still in conversation with two different entities that might be able to just maybe take some of the work off our hands and do, they're the ones that are label owners and they would
Yeah.
know more about that stuff than we. So it's worth it for us to hold on. So like we were going to pull the plug on that one before Halloween, and now we're going to wait a little bit and see what kind of stuff, if there's any possibilities to, partner up with some people
Right.
and get a bigger
Are
push.
you familiar with Chris Pecky?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, maybe we can set you up with that person. So
That sounds awesome. What's his last name?
Petke.
Oh,
P-E
okay.
P-E-P-T-E. P-E-P-T-E. Yeah, or maybe K-T-E. Can't remember.
All right.
Christian. Christian. Yeah.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'd love that.
Okay.
So maybe we were looking in the wrong places, but we weren't able to find your two full-length albums. Can you talk about those records and where we could possibly find them?
So really there's only one. Like that the very first one I put out was just called Comasoft, like just self-titled, which
Hmm.
has like 11 tracks on it. That was, I mean, really a learning curve for me. That was me by myself doing all the things I don't know how to do. But yeah. I mean, that's up on all the Spotify's and everything like that. I think maybe sometimes people get the EP Burn to Shine mixed up as a full LP because it's got like maybe seven songs on there, but
Oh,
I would consider them all EPs. I feel like we are an EP band until further notice.
Yeah. Right
But
on.
but yeah, now it's like, five tracks feels good to me. I feel like in like what Chris was saying, short attention spans. I feel like small packets, and like even that, like Chris and I had a lot of conversations about like the way that like pop musicians put out things where like it's literally single bass, like always
Yeah.
just one new track, and we thought about that, but we're just like, man, that's a shitload of work to like do all the PR around it, where it could be easier maybe packaged in like an EP. So until
Yeah.
further notice, I think we're shooting for five more.
Right on. Well, good. Yeah, I think you guys would fit in great with Chris.
and he's
Um,
Cop International, isn't he, Joe?
Cop International is yeah. Um, yeah,
Great record.
he's in California and in Germany, so
Okay, cool.
Uh,
it'd be a good contact for you for sure.
that'd be awesome.
So yeah. So how would you say your band's music has evolved over the years?
Um, a lot. I think we
Okay, next
started.
question.
Yeah, yeah. I think we started pretty electronic, and that was like driven by me. I like goth music and it was pretty gothy.
Yeah,
But like I was explaining before we started recording, like in that era of like the Beautiful Departure and Burn to Shine, that was sort of like end MySpace era, it like there was just no doubt that like sort of emo was coming into like the influence and making them like crafted shorter and like working really hard on the hook. Like some of those
yeah,
songs I wrote like five or six different hooks, and it just like my focus shifted to just being like trying to craft something that was really really memorable because I love the idea of like when we were playing and like the first bunch of rows just like could know all the words and sing it back. It was just
yeah,
awesome. It's an awesome experience.
yeah.
And then starting when we started back up, like during the pandemic, I kind of was just like, man, I really want to just make music that I really, really like to listen to. And once we made the song Worship, which is on it's which is on that Finis EP, the third track on there. That like was a light bulb for me. Like I was just like, Chris, this is what we should be doing. And for him, he's more of a metal dude. He was like, all right, let me see what we did. I don't even remember writing this. And that kind of steered the way to what happened with Gather at the End, where it just sort of returned to like a really good atmosphere.
Yeah.
Red light bulb stuff, like that's what we call it. When we go there and work, he changes the background to just be like all dark and red, and that's
Oh,
a great
that's
atmosphere
awesome.
to
There's
work
an
in. Yeah.
atmosphere, man. That's all it's
Mhm.
all about.
Yeah, it really does matter, you know. Like
Yeah,
put
no,
puts you in the right
I remember when
mindset.
I was first starting out and people were like, no, we can't, I can't. Why do you have a white light in his hair? Come on.
Yeah.
I'm like, atmosphere, dude. I can't do this in the daylight.
There was my friend was telling me a story about this girl that was in his studio. I think it was potentially last year at this point because it's already November, which is wild. But
That is
it was
wild.
like this girl was in the studio and they just, you know, it's a gorgeous room with all the best gear and all the best acoustics and all that kind of stuff. And they
Yeah.
just couldn't get the like emotion and the feeling that she was able to create in her like attic at her house, you know? And so they like took their real small studio, which was kind of a closet, and took
Yeah.
all the stuff out, like blanketed the windows completely, and just let her chug cigarettes in this little room and like record on the mic that way. And
You
and it
know,
came out like because then she just felt like she was back home in her like crappy
right?
attic,
Yeah.
and then everything came out perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I
But
mean,
yeah, definitely like
have you
having.
ever seen Ed Caspell play? You know,
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
it's you know, I'm kind of like that. I want to have some atmosphere, and
Yeah, yeah.
I love artists like that. That you know, like Ian Ashbury from the Cult. He has his big fucking throw rug out there. He's
Hmm.
bare feet and stuff.
Yeah, I
And
remember
it's
I saw a black metal band, I forget, was it Wolves in the Throne Room or something like that? And
oh, they are
they were burning sage
fantastic.
and there was no like stage lights, it was
Yeah.
just candles and stuff.
Soraya does that stuff too, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
like, if you've
totally, yeah.
never seen a Soraya show, oh my God, that
Yeah.
is fucking
Like
fantastic.
you
And
smell
apparently
the
he's
room
got
when
a
you
new
walk
one
in.
out
It's
right now
like
too. Oh yeah,
such an
yeah.
experience.
It's a very spiritual experience for sure. And yeah, and just a complete sensory overload, and I
Hmm.
fucking love that. So you
Yeah, I'll
have
tell you,
an
I was rehearsing in here for a show we played earlier this year, and I
yeah,
had like our light rig because I was programming our lights at the same
yeah.
time. So I kept like sing a song and like and move stuff around, and I had some candles burning, and it was like all dark in my room, and I burned a bunch of my hair because I was like something wasn't working, and I was looking in the back of my rack, and like when I put my
What's
head
that
there,
smell?
like all of a sudden I could just feel the top of my head burning, like ah, and
Yeah.
so it smelled awesome in here. Yeah, it
Oh
grew
my
back.
God, that's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
brilliant,
but
man.
that's dedication to atmosphere right there.
Yeah, there's no doubt, man. Like, what do you use it for a smoke machine? My hair.
My
Yeah.
hair.
It's a real atmosphere.
Yeah, my wife Kendra was like, "I heard you scream like a girl," and I was like, "Yeah, nah, don't worry about it."
Oh my God. So you guys have an amazing roster of artists you've played with live. You mentioned a couple of them earlier. Can you speak upon some of these experiences?
Yeah, sure. Like in the old, like we played with IMX like the very first time he ever came to America, and like
Yeah.
that was super awesome. They were so cool. He
You
was,
mean when he was still Sneaker Pimps?
no,
I'm
this
kidding.
was
I'm
right.
kidding. I'm messing
Yeah,
with you.
yep,
I'm messing
yeah,
with you.
yeah. Right after he left. That was really awesome. Of course, like the guys in Kilhanna have always been really good to us, and the Medina
Yeah.
Lake dudes, like they were just really cool. Like I think we played with like Breathe Carolina, which was
Oh
they're
wow.
known now. They're like famous like dubstep DJs, like
Yeah.
Vegas residency, but like they used to just be like an electro emo band. Which
Wow.
like people just don't know. It's like they had that career shift like Skrillex, like who
Yeah.
was like an emo band and all of a sudden he became a giant DJ. But
Yeah.
those guys were super awesome too. Yeah, we played with all kinds of cool bands. I really liked the presets too. When we played with the presets years ago, they're like a electro band from Australia, and they were just like, "You blokes are all wearing black," you know.
Great
Oh my
accent.
God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, so do you have any more shows lined up?
We're in the middle of doing some negotiation on a couple shows for early next year. Um, But yeah, I mean, I think we want to see what's going to happen with this like collab thing that we put out too, because that would be a different performance.
Yeah.
Coma, like I said, takes a little bit of work, moving, drums and lights and everything around. Whereas like that Comasoft and Santo Gato thing, like we were just trying to figure out how we would do it, but like maybe it's just a couple keyboards and just like a whole different setup, maybe just more atmospheric or something. So
Yeah.
so yeah, once it gets going, I think like the sky's the limit. I feel like we'll able to like absorb different offers and feel like which ones we can make a good choice on which one would be the best for us.
Right on. Joey?
Given the opportunity, who is the dream ticket to work with?
Go, Chris.
Um, I'll work with anyone. Anyone that inspires me to do something I haven't done before. Um,
Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean, if
think
I
I
could pick
have any.
anybody, yeah, if
What's
I could
that?
pick anybody, I'd say Brian Malco from Placebo because like he's my favorite singer. But
Oh,
or
yeah.
Davey Havoc maybe. Uh, mm,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I could do some.
I can see that.
I
Like
could do
that,
some JFI for sure.
yeah.
Right.
That's like they call me JFI sometimes when I'm singing too much like him, or
Oh,
JB
no.
Havoc. Yeah.
So you're based in Chicago. What's your experience with the music scene there?
Chicago has a pretty lively music scene, I think. Here's an interesting thing about it. It doesn't, on the surface, there's a lot of music happening, and it seems like it's a giant music scene, but it's sort of like in pockets, if that makes sense. Like there's
Yeah.
different, you got to kind of hunt for what you like and dig for it. It's
Yeah.
less like a Nashville or like an Austin where it's all sort of in one hub, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Or is
Um,
a kind of clicky kind of thing from club to club?
not so much club to club, more like genre to genre.
Okay.
Um, and then there's like these big kind of rehearsal kind of studio spaces and stuff. You can find a lot of interesting stuff in there. Um, Yeah, I think Chicago is just a huge place, right? Just a metropolis. So you can really find a lot of different things. I think one of the things that's very interesting about Chicago is that some of the bigger artists that come out of here don't become noticed in Chicago so much until after they've toured the world. And then all of a sudden, like everyone is stoked to go to their shows and stuff.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it in specifically like in the darker genre, like goth. Like, there's a pretty healthy goth scene here. There's like nights, there's monthly nights, there's weekly nights. There like
Yeah.
almost every night of the week.
Mhm.
There's some kind of like darker or industrial kind of stuff going on. Which I don't think there used to be. I think it was like pre-pandemic. There was maybe one or two, and now there's like
Yeah.
a whole handful. So,
I think it's
uh,
sort of ebbed and flowed because like you know, 20 years ago, 16 years ago, there was like a pretty lively scene with like Neo and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and then it sort of like maybe went down a little bit. And then it seems to be a lot now, for sure.
yeah.
Have you guys checked out the Museum of Post-Punk and Industrial Music yet?
I haven't been there yet. I really want to go.
Yeah, we were just talking about that last
Mhm.
week about yeah, I mean I'm friends with Martin, but yeah, I haven't been there yet either.
We're in
Yeah.
like a little pizza club together where we go and eat pizza as a group of friends sometimes. And I proposed there's a pizza place right down there that would be really cool. We just go eat food and then go in the
Yeah.
museum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I've been talking to Levi about us taking a trip out there, him and Danny and myself,
Hmm.
sometime this next year. So
Yeah, it'd be
we're
cool.
looking at maybe me flying out to Denver and then us taking a sleeper car train out
Oh,
to
cool. For how
Chicago.
long? How long is that trip? Like 2 days?
I think so. But yeah, it's something to look into. And I'm one of the founders for the museum too. I jumped in early on that
Very cool.
and I definitely have to see it. One of my old Revolting Cocks silkscreen Revolting Cocks pig face tour posters by Alan Yeager is hanging in there somewhere. And I've got something else I want to take out for Martin as well.
Hmm.
That's
I've
awesome.
actually got the museum written into my will because a lot of my music and memorabilia is going to be going there.
That's very cool.
That's
So
awesome. Well, let us know when you come out, man. But that would be great.
yeah,
Catch
yeah,
up.
absolutely. So yeah, you mentioned the awesome Sly Fox. In 2015, you released an incredible cover of the 1985 hit "Let's Go All the Way." This made my heart very happy.
Oh, thank you.
Really fucking did. What about this track pulled you in?
So I mean, I had like an older sister. So when I was a little kid, like the people that she hung out with, like her friends, I like you just got sucked into whatever they were listening to. I didn't, it was like I would just listen to whatever she was listening to, and she
Yeah.
had like her and her friends just had a great sense of music. The Cars and Duran Duran and
Yeah.
like The Cure, of course, and the Smiths and so I started liking that, and and
Yeah.
it changed when I started playing the drums. I started when I was 10, and like all of a sudden I just got really into metal, but I never got rid of like that sort of like 80s pop sensibility.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I had heard the song, a million times, but all of a sudden I was like, man, there's just seems like the little samples, the jum jum and the zimmy nimmy. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Right.
sounds like an industrial song, like if
Yeah.
played
Yeah.
differently. And that's really
It's
where it
like
was born.
what was it?
Uh,
Wolfgang Press when they did Mama told me not to come. Mama told you not to come. Whatever.
yeah.
That fucking song. I fucking love that fucking song. And like the Nine Inch Nails covers of Physical and or wait a minute,
Yeah.
was that Nine Inch Nails? Or was
Yeah,
that Molten
physical.
Cock? It was Nine Inch Nails, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I fucking hey man. Yeah. And when
Extra
Molten
tracks in the
Cock
broken
said, "You
EP.
think I'm sexy?" Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I fucking love that when the bands will pull in something like that. Martin actually with Ogre, they did Downtown, which blew my fucking mind on the Bedside Toxicology album. I'm listening to that for the first time, like way back when it came out. I'm a little bit fucked up and I've got my headphones on. I'm listening to it, and then Downtown comes on, and it's not registering what it is for a while, and then it starts to, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck? And I actually got to talk to Ogre about that at the VIP thing for the Tricks tour, and he was like, anybody got any questions? I'm like, yeah, I want to know what inspired that song. And it was something that he used to listen to a lot at Christmas when he was little, so it had a
Oh, that's
resonating
awesome.
thing for him, and
Yeah,
it
that's
was
cool.
beautiful to be able to hear that. And so yeah, but kudos, man, well done.
Appreciate it.
Chris, what were some music you were listening to in your formative years?
Um, when I was very young, my mom was like she really liked country music and stuff like that. And my dad was sort of a rock and roll dude. So I got a lot of Queen and AC/DC and that kind of world whenever I was pretty young.
Yeah.
Um, so that, I mean, Queen and ELO influenced so much of like
Oh
just my
yeah.
taste in music in general, and the avenues that I've explored with music and stuff like that have, even if they don't sound like Queen or ELO, there will be like
Yeah.
harmonic references and stuff like that that I'm trying to pull from just
Yeah.
because I heard it so much. It's like burned into my brain.
Oh yeah. Well, Jeff Lynne's just an incredible producer to begin with.
Hmm.
It's one of my absolute heroes. Jason Lacewell, the artist Jason Lacewell,
Hmm.
he just recently did a portrait of Jeff Lynne. It's fucking amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, yeah, I think like that, and then as a, I'm actually kind of curious to hear you guys' take on this, but like, there's that area of like 14 and 15, and like what is popular and like what you listen to.
Mhm.
And for me, it was like a weird mix of like this 90s Deftones stuff mixed with like rock and that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of curious where your heads were at in those like part of your formative years
I was very
and 90s.
focused when I was younger. I tended to like just the genre I was listening to and hated everything else.
Hmm.
And so it allowed, I guess this is probably my way back then undiagnosed ADHD, autism, whatever the fuck. But I would hyper focus on a certain genre, and that was it. It was the end all be all. And then something else would grab my attention, and that goes out the window. And I was
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
hate
yeah,
that,
yeah.
I hate that, I hate that, I love this. I started working at a place called Cellophane Square in the 80s, and and I think there's a record store in Seattle, and I just loved. By this time, I had realized, holy shit, all of this music is great. All of it is great. And I don't know why I'm shunning anything. It was when I started listening to like Bauhaus and the Stalin out of Japan, a hardcore punk rock band out of Japan, and Bauhaus and Killing Joke and the Go-Go's and Fun
Hmm.
Boy Free. And I'm like, wow, my tastes are everywhere and it's all awesome. So when I started working at Cellophane Square, I kind of had this idea that, this is where I need to be because this is where music is everything. And I started working there and realized that everybody that worked there had very, very narrow opinions about music,
Hmm.
genres and stuff. Because when it was time for me to play something, I would I was like, I thought I hated Bruce Springsteen for a long time. And I'm like, well, I'm going to find out why I hate Bruce Springsteen. So I started at the beginning of his discography and went all the way through. And I'm like, well, I don't hate fucking Bruce Springsteen. It's fucking brilliant.
I
And
love that so much.
and so I'm trying to play this stuff at Cellophane Square, and one of the senior employees was like, no, 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 you're not fucking playing Bruce Springsteen in this fucking store. And I'm like, what the fuck is the problem? They're like, no, fucking Bruce Springsteen. And that would happen all the time. I'm like trying to play, I'm like, Tiny Tim, I'm trying to play Tiny Tim. No, we can't play Tiny Tim, you know. So I was like, wow. So the people that I'm working with that are supposed to, because I had been going in there for years before I started working there, and it didn't matter what I came in to ask about, somebody had the lowdown on what I wanted to know. And I didn't realize until I was working there that it depended on which person I went to for which thing. And I was kind of the only person that worked there that kind of had all the genres under my belt. And so that's kind of how I developed. And it
That's awesome.
started
It's
out with Outlaw Country with my dad, that I hated being locked in the truck with him while he was driving and listening to Outlaw Country. And there was
hmm
gospel stuff from my mom and early Johnny Cash and Johnny Paycheck and stuff like that. So yeah, and then the pop stuff that I was listening to growing up, pop and then into rock and soft rock and yacht rock. And yeah, I mean fucking Andy Gibbs' Shadow Dancing album is fucking peak for me. I love that fucking album, you know. And the amount of funk and groove that you get from the Bee Gees is just absolutely insane. That's what I love about music, is the ability to pull something out of somewhere, anywhere, and everything's got something credible to it. So
hmm
sorry to kind of jump in there, but yeah, that's one of my real trigger things. So
Yeah, I
anyway,
love that. That's why I
Joey.
posed that question.
So when I was 14, that would have been 1995. So in middle school, transitioning to a freshman in high school, middle school, I was limited to public access television, which is where I first found out about Nine Inch Nails because I saw the video for Wish when that came out,
Yeah.
and that just changed my life. So I became a huge fan. But it was either that or it was MTV because the internet wasn't kind
Mhm.
of just getting, going with its graphical interfaces. And when I got to high school, I started meeting people that really knew a lot about electronic music and really opened my eyes. And I also compilation albums like the Industrial Revolution, Industrial Strength, the Zoth Amog compilation. It got me like to Mentalo and the Fixer, Leather Strip. Um, a lot of those bands, and it was changed, and it's also trading cassettes with people that I would meet online and across the country, and they would send me stuff and be like, "Oh, it's Psychopomps. This is fucking cool. I love it. Love this."
Yeah.
What really changed me at that point was a friend of mine let me borrow a copy of an album called Too Dark Park, and I
Yeah.
put it on, and I listened to it starting with the day at the school, and then I listened to it throughout the whole day, and then I'm like, "Fuck, I hate this album. I hate this. I don't like this." And I was like, "Wait a minute." I was like, "Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's something here. There's something here." I'm like, "Can I take this home?" I listen to it again, and I go, "I get it. I get it. I understand now. I know exactly what I was missing. It was that pop element of Nine Inch Nails were completely fucking removed, and it's all just is just that album just completely fucking changed me."
Yeah.
And
That's a great
yeah,
fucking
ever
album.
since then, I love electronic music, and that can be anything, to be quite honest. And that's kind of
Yeah.
what started when I was 14. And I want to show you my first real concert right here. It's Nine Inch Nails, David Bowie. I love
That's
that.
awesome.
Wow.
That's
That's a
14.
good first
That's out
concert.
of my
I think
bucket
Yeah,
mine
for
was the
list.
sure.
Monkees.
I think mine was AC/DC or
Mine was
potentially Garth Brooks. I don't know, one or the other.
yeah. Mine was Poison.
Awesome.
Mhm. My mom waited in the parking lot while me and my buddies went in, my like high school friends, and she just waited in the parking lot for us, and we were in there was like smoking weed and stuff like that, and she had no idea. She just
She knows now.
really does.
Jay. Awesome. So what are you guys listening to currently? Is there anyone we should have on our radar?
I've been listening to Rufus Du Sol a ton.
Ooh,
It's just so vibey. Kind of like housey and trancy, but
yeah.
just so it just allows me to not have to focus on the music, but if I do focus on it, it's like just sonic levels of
Yeah.
fun stuff in the ears.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. And Jay, I'll let you kind of give your opinion, but I feel like a lot of these days I take a lot of music breaks because I produce so much music, and like when I just get sonicked out, if that makes sense, and so I just want to like be in a quiet room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
I like the new AFI. There's a band called House of Harm that
Yeah.
was suggested to me that I listened to, and I really liked them. I just got to go see them at Bottom Lounge and here in Chicago when they came through and got to hang out with them and stuff like that. So like they're definitely worth checking out. It's really, really cool.
Right
Um,
on.
yeah, those are like I guess the two off the top of my head. Of course, I like Traders is really good, and my wife likes Twin Tribes, so that's always on. And like yeah, Black Marble, I listen to them a lot. They're kind
Ooh,
of like
nice.
lo-fi and weird.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then a lot of black metal because I like black metal. So like almost unlistenable shit is fun.
Yeah. The stuff that looks like the back of an old office chair with the logo. Yeah.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. Just like
There's
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
there's this band from Ukraine they're called Grima, like Grima, and they
Yeah.
like I'm not lying, they dress up like trees, dude. Like they look like trees.
Oh
Like
my
they got
God, I have
like
to see
sticks and
that.
stuff coming out of their like the like the mask look like bark and like
Yeah.
Sue, our guitar player we were in the car driving to rehearsal and that song came on and he like knew and he was like he's like wait so these guys are trees and I was like yeah dude they're trees and he's like what do they sing about? I'm like the forest man. But they're
Oh
awesome.
my God. Send me
Yeah,
a fucking link for that, please.
I definitely
Please.
will. Yeah,
Yeah. That's fucking brilliant,
yeah,
man. Oh
just
my
four
God.
trees, just four
Yeah.
trees singing about the forest.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. So, Jay, this show is all about artists supporting artists, and it would be very remiss of me not to bring up the wonderful misadventures of Jay and Sagan on the show Jay Draws Things. First, is Sagan available for an appearance?
Let me see where that little scamp is. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
scamp.
Little scallywag, little rutabaga, little rapscallion. Yeah.
We're talking about Cat, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Sure. Never can tell.
Oh
I
man.
love those drawings that Jay does, and like he's
Yeah.
consistent with it. It's cool because it's a very kind of unique and specific style,
Yeah.
and he
No,
just
it's
keeps
very
driving, and I love
enjoyable.
it.
Yeah. Because I literally just met you guys and just became friends with Jay on Facebook and
Hmm.
he posted one the other day and I'm like, "Oh, holy shit. Why is this not in the fucking Comasoft press kit?"
I know, right? There's one of our friends here in Chicago, named George, has been taking a lot of Jay's drawings and like reinventing them with AI. It's been really cool to see,
Oh,
like
that's
making
cool.
them like 3D or like just illustrated differently, but like or more real looking too, which is super weird, but really
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, wow. That's got to be kind of creepy actually.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That'd be totally awesome. Yeah, we're huge fans of kitty cats here,
I don't
and
know where that kid is.
oh, yeah, he's
Yeah,
doing cat things,
yeah,
and
you MIA. He's usually right next to me, but I don't know
He
where he
might
is.
be he might be sitting next to those like fake cats on
The
your
fake, the fake cats. You have like these
Okay.
cat statues, and he'll sit right next to him, and he looks just like him. But yeah, I don't know
Oh
where he
my
is,
God,
man.
that's
I
awesome.
checked all his hiding spots, and I don't know where he is.
All right.
He's MIA
Well,
right now.
okay. Well, then B, how long have you been dabbling in animation? And
Um.
I was definitely whelmed.
Oh,
And it
thank
was
you.
yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've always drawn, like I said, since I was a kid. And during the pandemic, when I had more time on my hands, I was like, like I love cartoons. It's like that's like my favorite. I
Yeah.
like that better than like real, actors.
Me too.
And so yeah, I just took a bunch of classes to kind of learn the fundamentals of animation and I still love the sort of frame by frame stuff, like I like
Yeah.
hand drawing stuff. So I try to do that as much as I can. Um
So you're actually doing these frame by frame too. So yeah.
Yeah, most of
Yeah.
them are. Yeah, there's a little bit of work with like it's
You're
easy.
using a pad, digital pad or what?
Yeah, I have like it's called a Cintiq. It's like
Yeah.
you just draw right on it.
Right on.
Um,
Yeah, my nephew's a comic book artist, J.D. Smith, and an award-winning comic book artist for his graphic novel Virgil from back in the a few years back. And yeah, and my nieces are also fantastic artists. It's a wonderful thing. I've got some stuff behind me as
right on.
well.
Mhm.
So a painting I started of one of Kevin Key's his Basil figure. So I need to get back to work on that now that it's dried enough that I can go back in on it. But yeah, so that's fucking awesome, man.
I appreciate you checking it out. Thanks. Yeah, I'd say
Yeah,
it's
no,
fun. I like to write the little scripts and stuff like that, and just put jokes in there. Like I mostly crack myself up more than anything else.
yeah, yeah, no, they're insanely fun. They really are. It's fucking
Thank you.
awesome. So well done, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, what are your earliest memories of art having a profound effect on you?
Wait, can you re-say that?
I'm sorry. What is your earliest memory of art having a profound effect on you?
That's an interesting question. Um, so from my perspective, I don't know, maybe I was just hiding from my parents fighting and drawing pictures a lot or something, but um, I sort of gravitated to illustration at a very, very young age and then was doing it pretty high level. I think I didn't really know that art was a thing, if that makes sense. I was just looking at books and recreating stuff and like
Yeah.
trying to draw what I'm seeing. I think when it really started to grab a hold was like Salvador Dali or MC Escher. Then
Oh,
those sort of opened up some doors. I'm like, oh, you can do a lot of really weird things. You don't have to copy
yeah.
what you see.
Yeah. Yeah. It's incredible. Yeah. How
Um,
about you,
f-
Jay?
yeah, for me it was like of course cartoons. Like I really, really, really lo loved them growing up, specifically like Warner Brothers cartoons. But I think it really changed when the company is it UPO or UPS, like the guys that all left Disney and created their own like
Yes.
lo-fi,
Hmm.
the guys that made Mr. Magoo,
Yeah.
but like that sort of like minimalist night, like a postmodern 50s kind of era, like man, I really love that, like the Pink Panther backgrounds, how it's like
Hmm.
it's just a door frame and
Yes.
Super
nothing
pop
else.
art. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that was so cool. And I was like, oh, you
That's what
mean
the art
you're
part
like,
always got
yeah,
me.
I love the really, really intense, Scooby-Doo backgrounds that are beautifully,
Yeah.
done. But there's something to be said about like a Rocky and Bullwinkle background that it's like it still tells the
Yes.
story through just color. I love it when the skin tone is just clear, and so the color is like they're
Yeah.
just the shirt is colored.
Yeah.
That really like was life changing. And then like when I was younger, like Ren and Stimpy just like blew me
Oh
away too.
yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
the
Oh
art,
yeah.
like not only the like the motion that like defied the laws of physics and the laws of like conservation of weight, where like Ren
Yeah.
would he could be gigantic and then all of a sudden be really small. Like that was just
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah,
And
that
then
is really
those really
cool.
weird close-ups, that were all gross. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, the content for that show was like
Don't
kind of
worry, little missy. I'll save you.
yeah.
Yeah.
We use Mr. Horse in the studio constantly. When Chris will be doing something to a song, and I'll be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, sir, I don't
No,
like
those are
I
it.
think
those are
my
yeah.
favorite character from that show was Powdered Toast Man.
Butter
Oh
toast.
God, I love powder.
What about that
Take a
horse?
letter. The
Well,
letter M. Yeah. Yeah. My ex-wife and I, when we were together, we actually we knew one of our best friends was friends with John Kricfalusi, and he got when Nickelodeon kind of screwed him over on the rights and stuff. We ended up getting from Kricfalusi some animation cells, and one of them is the horse from the Rubber Nipple Salesman episode. So my ex-wife has that now as one of the animation stills from the Rubber Nipple Salesman, which is
That's awesome.
awesome,
That's
directly
Yeah,
from
that
really
is so
cool.
Kricfalusi.
cool.
Yeah, yeah, fun times, man.
Yeah, have you
So,
guys seen Primal?
yes. Oh my God, what a
Holy shit.
fucking yeah.
Yeah.
That's Tardis
Yeah,
Jendi.
Jendy Tartakovsky. Yeah.
That's it.
That
That's it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Oh my God, what an
that's the most beautiful
insane
cartoon I've ever
show.
seen.
It
Yeah.
really is. Yeah, yeah. He's I mean, he's done so
He did,
much stuff. It's just
yeah, he
fucking
did Samurai
there's a
Jack, which I
lot.
never even
Like
watched.
Samurai Jack is dope.
Has Been Hotel is pretty good too. And Villainous. If you haven't seen that, um, absolutely fucking epic. And yeah, some of these uh South American inspired animation shows are really fucking hitting my buttons right now.
Oh man, I just wrote that down, but we'll put it all in the email and a follow up so we can get some
Did you
links
say
going.
Yeah.
Villainous?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I just
For
looked
sure.
up a little thing of Villainous. That looks really cool. It's
Yeah, it is. It's insane, dude. And I'm in love with the fucking with the lizard girl in there. I can't remember her name on there. But
got some Invader Zim vibes a little bit.
Alhambra or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, fucking amazing stuff. So yeah, is there anything else you guys would like to talk about or promote today?
Um, I don't think I have any specific things to promote. Uh, Jay, what about
Any
you?
friends with bands that you need to do shout outs for or anything?
Um, yeah, I guess I don't have too much more other than like to tell people that, to keep an eye out for some stuff, some remix of Gather at the End. Record is really cool. Like the remixes that we got back from our friends is super awesome. And then we're really excited about this new project with our buddy Danny and Santo Gato. So we're not sure how it's gonna come at you, but when it does, it'll hit hard because it is really cool. It's and like we're excited about getting that out. So yeah, just keep in touch. Follow us on all the damn
Right.
socials, whatever you're into.
Yeah,
Instagram.
I'll follow an email after the call too and send you over some links to like some of the production work that comes out of the studio and stuff. I think
Fuck
like
yes.
it's
Please.
fun. It's a fun journey to listen because like you were saying earlier, you have like a wide palette of tastes.
Yeah, he
And
would love the Bloom link that just has all our tracks.
there's
Yeah,
like
no, for sure.
I
Yeah.
have a couple I've been building a couple of playlists lately of just stuff that is kind of around the camp and it's all over the board in terms of genres, so it's kind of a fun little adventure.
Oh, right on, man. Awesome. Well, kiddies, get your butts over to Bandcamp. Show these guys some love. Keep your eyes peeled for them on the road. And also check out the fabulous Jay Draws Things page on YouTube to see the latest adventures there. Gems and germs and various spooky bits. We've reached the end of another episode dedicated as ever to our dear friend Jason Lupo. May he rest in peace. As this timeline devolves further into chaos and stupidity, please keep your mind set to overcoming. Protect the people around you, protect yourselves. If you're hurting, please don't do it in silence. And please don't let go. The world is much better with you in it. Make art, make silly faces, make someone smile. If you can, especially you. We're going to get through this. Love, hugs, and belly rubs, everyone. Cheers.